And welcome to episode 4 of the Box Nostalgia Podcast with Beerski and PoNGa. What's going on, man?
As always, super excited to get down talking some video games, some Pokemon cards. I know we have a lot of good topics to cover this week. Wanted to start the episode by thanking everyone for subscribing, watching. I know in the past week we just hit 100 subscribers. I think we're up to 104 now. So really appreciate all the support. It's been a wild ride. I know, 4 episodes over the course of the past 2 months has been really exciting. Hope we keep improving and moving forward.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. The push over 100 is awesome. Like, that's such a huge milestone to hit. Feel really good about it. People are liking what we're doing. They're subscribing, liking, all that. So I appreciate it. We do this, not so much for ourselves, but for everyone too. Like, it's just a fun thing to do. And we appreciate everyone being here and taking the ride with us. So, yeah, other than that, I'm doing good. Living the bachelor life this week. My wife's in New Mexico. My daughter's visiting family. I'm here by myself. It's a strange feeling. I got the whole house to myself. So I don't know.
Extra long episode?
Question mark? I don't know. We'll find out. But we're gonna hop into it. Let's get this going. Item of the week. So what do you have for the item of the week for us, my man?
Yeah, so this one, I'm going to stay on the same theme as always, a sealed item, which I always love showing off. But this time, I'm not going to do a Pokemon item. So, as we all are aware, Wizards of the Coast, made all the original Pokemon sets, but they also made a lot of other trading card games that kind of died in the late 1990s, early 2000s. So my item of the week is actually a Simpsons booster box. So it's like
sideshow. I love it.
Yeah, it's one of the coolest boxes. You could see the different pack arts back there. I have some sealed theme decks and some sealed packs as well, but just a really cool box. I loved The Simpsons growing up. I was a huge fan. Used to always rewatch all the episodes. I remember even having like all the seasons on DVD with like one of those miniature DVD players, like portable DVD players that were big back in the day. Yeah, and I used to always rewatch all the seasons of The Simpsons. One of my favorite games of all time, as well as The Simpsons Hit and Run. So had to pick up a box or two of the Simpsons TCG. It's a really cool kind of nostalgic set for me. That typical cool booster box that Wizards of the Coast used to make with like all 4 sides and it actually being a box rather than kind of just a flap that covers some booster packs. So
yeah. The box feel is cool. I opened a Harry Potter Quidditch Cup box not too long ago, and you're right, like the whole encapsulated box is so much better than just the flap. Like, it looks cleaner, it's nice. Are there multiple box arts for that, or is it just one?
No, to my knowledge, it's just the one, and if I'm incorrect, someone correct me, but to my knowledge, I think it's just the one.
Right on. That's an awesome piece. I'll have to pick one up. Told me where to get it before, so I might have to go searching for it. All right, my item of the week is going to deviate from Pokemon and video games a little bit. I don't know if everyone has realized, but I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, very big. I was also into Lego for a year or two, pretty big, before I got into Pokemon. So my item of the week is the Hogwarts mini scale castle. This bad boy has 6,020 pieces. When I built the one that's in my living room, that when you walk into my house, it's the first thing you see. Thank you, wife, for letting me do that. It took me over 24 hours to build. It's insane. And it was just a grind of building it. It comes with the 4 founders. I do have them right here. Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Slytherin, and Ravenclaw. So that's just a little cool piece that comes with it. It has Hagrid's hut. It has the Whomping Willow, and the boats that everyone takes to get to Hogwarts proper. It also, on the opposite side of this image, there are a lot of cool little nooks in the castle itself. It has Dolores Umbridge's office. It has the Chamber of Secrets. It has the chess match board. It's got the Hungarian Horntail is up top. There's Dementors flying around. It's just an all in all cool little set. They do have little characters as well. They're like micro people. Anyway, Voldemort, Bellatrix Lestrange, all of them. It's a very cool set. It was fun to build. Like I said, I was really into the Harry Potter sets. Oh man, 2017, 18. So big doings, but yeah, just a fun piece, and I wanted to share it with everyone. So
I might have missed it. Did you say? Do you know how many pieces it is?
it's 6,020 pieces.
Whew,
And
that's a lot.
when I purchased it back in the day, it was $399.99. Well, they've upped the price to $469.99 the past couple of years. So, they're really squeezing everything they can out of these Lego sets, man. It's a shame that they're priced the way they are because I think more people will get into it. It is just a very, very expensive hobby to be in. Extremely expensive.
Yeah, and I know a lot of like the bigger ones too. Like once they sell out and they stop making them and stuff, tend to go up in price as well. So
yeah, crazy prices on some of this
yeah.
stuff. Like even like keeping the boxes. Like I have all the boxes and all the manuals, and they're all folded in my dry attic, in like plastic bags, just like sitting there because people will buy these sets, even open and used, for crazy amounts of money. So, there's some of them. I have some sealed sets in my closet that I got to go through and get rid of some, but yeah, so a fun little thing to put there. So that's our item of the week. We are going to move on now to our tier list, which is Watsi sets. Pull that up. All right, everyone. We're going for ultimate spicy takes here with some of these sets. There may or may not be a Y set in here. Hint, there is. So we'll get at it. I'm gonna let PoNGa pick first.
Yeah, I mean, before we start, it's like we were talking about before we started recording. Some of these are just so hard to rate because you could pick out so many cards out of every single set that you really like, but and obviously a lot of these are really nostalgic, especially the early ones. But I think what I'm gonna try to do is kind of rate them. I think I said this last time too with all the Mario games, like compared to each other. So like a C tiered set might not necessarily be like C tier when you compare all of Pokemon sets, but just C tier in relation to the sets that are on the list. So what do I want to start with? Do we want to start good or bad? I think I'm gonna.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start with the worst set of them all.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I just said there might be a Y set, and I think we just clicked it.
Yeah, so it's just a really dumb set. Now I will say
But dude, it's got a Charizard reprint it, man.
Yeah, but like it's just like such a pointless set. I don't know anyone that really likes it. I think like the hollow pattern on the hollows does look good, but it just like in every way the worst Watsi set, and I don't even really think there needs to be an argument put together. I mean, it's just like, I guess what I'm going to say is like the only difference really, besides like a little bit with the hollow and then the stamp, is like, I wish they like added something to it, right? Like something that wasn't in the original sets. Like I think of like what Evolutions is, right? Where they have the original reprints, but then they also added like Mega Charizard and all that kind of stuff. And like,
yeah,
I wish they kind of just had like maybe a couple added hollows or something on top of it. But yeah, it is definitely a Y tiered set, and I think it might be one of the worst sets in Pokemon history.
I will agree with that last statement. I think it is the worst Pokemon set in history. It's just base and jungle reprints. It brought nothing to the table. I don't know. This is Watsi's. I don't know why they would do it. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. And then like to do that, and we're gonna talk about it in a little bit. But the legendaries set, like we're gonna go there, and they at least did some cool stuff with that. Like they did some interesting things with that. This set, like you said, they didn't do anything interesting with. It has a 2 on the bottom of it. Like that's it. Like it's the only thing that's cool. Like, and it's the only stamp thing. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. You stick it in Y. It's a Y tier. It's garbage. Watsi. Nintendo was probably like, what the fucking hell are you doing here, guys? Like, because listen, the Japanese, like the sets that they released like had meaning. It meant that they looked like this was just like thrown in there. Like they were just greedy for more of the same. I don't know.
How much money can we extract out of our fans?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Like, oh, if you missed a Charizard the first time, now's your time to grab it. Like that's essentially what it was. And they threw
But
some.
like the problem when it came out was like base set was still readily available
Yeah,
and very cheap. So
It's- doesn't make much sense. All right, we're gonna go to the next one. Oh man. All right, I think we're gonna go the opposite side of the spectrum. We're gonna go Expedition.
ooh.
All right, so we have our E Series sets here. I love E Series. I love it so much. Don't know why I love it as much as I do. I love the card construction. I love the gimmick of swiping the cards through the reader. I love the whole thing. I think it makes them super cool, super special. They weren't around very long. This set hits so hard in so many different ways. The Alakazam itself, like that's like, you know, your Master Splinter Alakazam. It's so cool the way he's sitting there. The Blastoise coming at you angry is so cool. Like the cards, the art, like really, I think like stepped up in these sets. Some of the best arts from, you know, the Watsi sets are in the E series. At least I think so. Like I love them. They look great. They're done extremely well. The hollow pattern's cool on sets. You know, it was the first, well, it's not the first, but the reverse hollow on it was like the refractor reverse hollow, which is also very cool. You know, it's just, I love it. Just those couple cards I mentioned, really like elevate that set to like a higher level. I'm going to go ahead and put this in like A tier.
Oh man, I thought you were gonna go S. Yeah, I think A's fair. When I think of this set, I think it's like probably top 2 Wizards of the Coast set for me. I just like how, you know, it's a little bit of hindsight, but looking at it now, it's like if you were to ever open an Expedition pack, like the reverses feel like such a hit in the set, which is nice. But then it also like has multiple versions of the same Pokemon as a hit, like hollows. Some of them have rares that are different art, and then the reverse as well. And like you said, it just got like all the fan favorite Pokemon with
Yeah.
crazy art for all of them. I oh, I don't know.
The,
I
the
kind of
art's
want,
ridiculous.
yeah. I just like I kind of want to put it in S, but
I mean, stick it up there.
yeah, I think I have to put it in S.
All right. So we have our first S tier call. That's
You were A, so
yeah. So we kind of just kind of float in the middle there. But yeah, dude, the set's nice. Like I enjoy seeing pack set shows and stuff. I'm not affording Expedition pack to open. I've never opened the set myself. Everything I know about a lot of these later Watsi sets. And I think that's just like a lot of people in the hobby that are my age that kind of just fell off right after like Team Rocket and stuff like that. Like these later sets, like I never got in the E series. I wish I did. Like I wish I was around for them. So like going back and learning about them, like I went down so many little rabbit holes today trying to find stuff about these sets, like extra little things to just like bring up and talk about. And yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting set. It's just an interesting gimmick too with the cards. Really did like that.
I am lucky enough. I do have a Expedition pack in my pack collection, so I'm really lucky. I actually bought it off David Person, so shout out to him. He
Nice.
gave me a pretty solid deal back in the day on it. So
That's fantastic. Good for you. All right, man. Which one are we going with next? Ooh, excuse me. Oh yeah.
I don't know. Let's do I'm gonna do Neo Revelation. So this is like I feel I don't know. It just seems like Neo Revelation's never talked about, right? Like besides like one card or two cards in the set. Like
Yeah.
I mean, obviously everyone thinks of the Gyarados and the Magikarp Shinings. And those are like two of the better cards. You know, when I think of vintage cards, those are like two of my top ones. And then like the legendary beasts are just like super nostalgic for me. I mean, Gen 2 is probably my favorite generation. So,
Okay.
obviously like back playing the games and all that stuff where it was so hard to catch the dogs because it was like almost a random encounter back
Yeah.
then.
Now, if you didn't catch the dog, right, you couldn't catch it again later in the game. I think that was it.
Oh, that part I don't remember.
I always
You
used to
tested me
get.
there.
I would play the game and get so anxious because I had, I think, an Entei pop up once, and like it just got away, and I never saw it again. So I don't know if I did something wrong, or it was just one of those.
But yeah, I mean, Neo Revelation itself, like just having the Gyarados and Magikarp, it instantly brings it up super high on my list. I think, to be fair, I think I'd probably put it at an A. I think it's my second favorite Neo set.
Okay. I mean, it did introduce Shining Pokemon in the TCG. Like you said, the Shiny Gyarados and the Shiny Magikarp. The Gyarados card, it's like Lake of Rage Gyarados. He's just so cool, standing up tall in the water. There's a little guy on a boat shitting himself because Gyarados is there. Like, it's a great art. Like, in that, I think that might be the first art that it had a person in it too. Like, I could be wrong. Might be wrong,
I don't
but
know. I don't know.
it's still wild. Like, it's just a great art. I'm a big fan of it. Again, didn't really dabble in these sets all that much. Didn't get into these sets as much as I should have, or wish I have, and now I feel kind of priced out. But just the simple fact that it introduced a shining Pokemon and it came out swinging pretty hard with the Gyarados. I'm gonna stick it up there. I'm not gonna go A tier though. I'll go like, oh man, I'm gonna go B. B tier, just for the shinings themselves. Like, that's huge.
I think that's pretty fair. B's pretty fair. All right, what do you want to do next?
Let's see. All right, let's go to Team Rocket. All right, Team Rocket's a cool set. It's got one of my favorite cards of all time in it, from the Watsi era, and that is the Squirtle Nirvana diving card. It looks like the cover of the Nirvana album. So I'm a big fan of that card. It's the first secret card that was released too in English, which is the Dark Raichu. I opened up a very little amount of the Team Rocket cards, but I did really, really like, the Dark Pokemon and all that kind of stuff that were in there. It's just like very cool set. Had a lot of, a lot of fan favorites and whatnot. I won't rank it super high because, again, like, that's Team Rocket was like towards the very end of where I was. I think I'm gonna put Team Rocket, and this is just because of the Squirtle. That card, I love that card. I'm gonna give it a C.
A C. Wow. I think that's super hot take right there. I think a lot of people like Team Rocket. Yeah, I mean, it has, the Alakazam. It has a Dragonite, Charizard, Blastoise. I'm just re-looking at the set just to see where I want to put it. It's got the Dark Gyarados. I really like the Dark Pokemon concept.
The Dark Gyarados is a really nice card. I do like that card a lot. Like the art style of that's a sharp card.
Yeah, I do love the Dark Raichu too. I mean, one of the cards I still have from my childhood was a first edition Dark Raichu. So I was lucky enough as a kid to pull that and still have it. So I'm really happy about that. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like Team Rocket should hit a lot more than what it does for me. I just feel like there's a bunch of cards in it that, like, I just don't enjoy. Oh, I think I'm going to put it. I'm trying to think of in relation to where I'm going to put the other ones.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of where because there's some that I'm going to list higher. I just don't think this set, like the Dark Pokemon are cool. I just don't think it carries as well.
I think when we go to the next ones, I might readjust my list a little bit. But I think for now, I'm going to stick this in the B tier.
Okay. It's a little in between B
and I actually lied. I think I want to put Revelation down to B as well and match that one.
Okay.
So you put C, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think we might get some hate on that. I think a lot of people like Team Rocket.
Send the hate in, man. Let's bask in it. That's fine.
All these people are just, they're too nostalgic for stuff. They gotta be realist and understand what's actually good.
Well, I mean, so we've talked about this real briefly before we came on here. You can't tell me that the arts from some of these sets are good compared to the art that's out now, man. Like, you just can't. Like, we'll talk about like base set when base set comes up, but you can't tell me that
All
base
right, no,
set art. Like, come on,
you're gonna
man.
get us
Like,
canceled. You're gonna get us canceled.
I want to get us canceled here. It's nice, it's nostalgic, but it's, I mean, to open your eyes, take the blinders off, people. Like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll get there when we get there.
I'm gonna go. Oh man. I might do. I'm gonna do Legendary Collection.
Nice.
So just a way. I mean, it's just way better than base set 2. So it's very similar, right? Where it's got a bunch of reprints.
Way better.
The firework pattern for the reverses just enhances the set so much, and just kind of like takes the best of all the cards and all the sets and like puts it all in one.
Yeah.
And I think like the pack arts are really cool with the blue and red. The box is super shiny. I know that's kind of out there, but it just like looks like a cool set, and it is a cool set. And the box and pack art just kind of matches like the firework pattern where like everything is just flashy in the set. And it's like I almost look at it as like one of the first sets where it was like, look how cool flashiness is, right?
Yeah.
With all that said, God, I even like it better than base set, I think. It's just like the best. It's like the best version of the early Watsi sets, right? It's like those sets on steroids, kind of.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
God, I'm kind of like in between A and B though, and I don't know which one to put it in. I feel like A's too high and B's too low.
You could put it. You can half it. You could stick it in between.
I'm gonna put it at B now, and I might change that, but I'm gonna put it at B now.
So this set introduced reverse holo cards for English. Introduced the firework pattern. Like you said, that it pops. I love the firework pattern. Some of the prettiest holo cards from the era. Big fan of that. It's base, jungle, fossil, and rocket reprints, so it's all the it's all just the first block of Pokemon. I think that was the set. Like, if base set 2 wasn't there, like, this set would have made so much more sense too. I feel like, again, they were like trying to just milk what it was. Like, they're even using box art and like pack art from the first, from base set on the box, and fossil. So it's a little bit. I'll give it a B. I'll match you on the B just for the reverse holo aspect, the firework aspect. Those cards pop. And there's nothing you can say about it. Like, some people don't like them, and those people I don't get.
I feel like when I first got back into Pokemon, it was one of those slept on sets where everyone was like, oh, I don't even know what Legendary Collection is. And then as time went on, I feel like people are like, oh, wait, the firework pattern is actually really cool. And
It's so cool.
It's just such a game changer when it comes to those early Watsi sets, because you have all the holos, but then you have a second hit in packs, which I'm always a huge fan of when you could possibly get multiple hits in one pack. So
yeah, that EV's got to be positive, baby.
Yeah.
So it added something to Pokemon, which is like what every set should do. It should add and move it forward. Like, again, I'm gonna keep shoveling dirt on the base too. Like, that didn't do anything to move Pokemon forward. It was, like you said, just a money grab. Now, them releasing every set is a money grab. They want to get their money, but like, at least they're adding value and coolness to the set. So yeah, legendary at B sounds good. Oh man, where are we gonna go? You know what? Let's just go to base set. I want to talk about base set. Let's do it. Listen, base set's great. We know it. You know it. Rusty knows it. Everyone knows it. Love base set. Everything's great about it. But compared to today,
Don't say it.
I'm saying it, man. The art sucks compared to today's art. Like, I know they're iconic arts. It's awesome. We know, but we don't need reprints of them all the time. And Java's going to throw up in his mouth a little bit because I'm going to hit it. Charizard art isn't the best art even in that set. Like, it's just not. It is what it is because it's a Charizard. I don't know. Base set, looking back now, like I remember opening base set packs and being so pumped. I remember pulling my first Venusaur and how I ran out back. My father was outside. We had a like basketball court kind of thing back there where we parked cars and garage and whatnot. I ran outside screaming. I remember like the kitchen in my house, the door. Like I remember running out back, just being so excited. It's like base set's totally nostalgic for me. I love it. Like it's nostalgic for everyone. But it's the base set. It's base, man. It's in the title. It's base. I don't know. People are gonna hate me on this one. Base set's gonna go C.
Oh boy.
I've given it middle of the road. Like it's great. It brought us to where we are, but it's not what made Pokemon have the staying power that it's having now. Like that's not the reason.
Yeah, I struggled to rate this one because it's S tier nostalgic, right? But that nostalgia is not the only factor, like you said, that comes into this. If you're just doing like iconic sets, like it's definitely S tier. And I think that's what a lot of people in the chat are probably going to argue. Like it's base set, it's the set. But like you said, like outside of a few of the top hits, it kind of feels bland. I know when I got back into the hobby, base set was like the coolest thing because it was like the expensive set. It was what everyone wanted. All the YouTube titles, opening a first edition base set, opening base set. And maybe that's what kind of makes it feel bland now. And I know I've said this before in a different video. I don't know if it was on this podcast or someone else's channel, that a lot of these sets just feel kind of bland now because I've seen them open so much. Like the excitement's just not there anymore. I remember like when these sets used to be opened, especially base set, it was like I had to watch every pack get opened. Now it's like if someone's opening a base pack, like I might like filter it on my feed as like not interested, so it doesn't come up anymore.
Don't even get excited when they pull Charizards. Like it's not exciting to watch. It's not exciting. If you're in person and you do it, it's got to be awesome, right?
Yeah, the way I think of it is like if I were like opening it for someone else, I think it'd be fun. But like if you put all these sets on a table and I could choose one pack to open, base set is never going to be that choice, right? It's not even going to be close to that choice. With all that said, you said you ranked it what, C?
C.
So I'm going to go, it is S tier nostalgic, but from actual sets and comparing it to the ones I like the best, I think I'm still going to put it in B tier.
Okay.
Because that, the set composition itself isn't my favorite, but like I said, the nostalgic factor kind of brings it up a little bit for me.
Right on.
Yeah, man, we're gonna get canceled. We're definitely canceled.
That's all right. Listen, we're here. We're here to be real.
You know, it's funny too because I feel like the people that are really into vintage, we grew up with it, and it's weird that like I just like don't care about it as much as I thought I would when I got back into Pokemon. I mean, I like it. I collect all the packs from it, all that kind of stuff. I have some cards, and I'm never gonna sell my childhood cards, but I don't feel the need to want cards in these sets, which is weird.
Yeah, like I have a ton of bulk from when I was a kid still of base set. Like it's right behind me in one of these 5 rows. A ton of it still. I look at it every once in a while. I don't know. I agree with you. I don't think if that was laid out on the table, that would be the first pack I'd pick up. I also think maybe if the prices weren't so inflated on some of these sets, I feel like they're priced out for a lot of people too. So like that, I think, is also what gives them that like S tier feel. because like a lot of people aren't opening packs of base set. They're not getting expedition packs. They're not opening booster boxes of this stuff. So I think it like puts it out of reach for them, and then
Yeah.
they want to like put it on a pedestal almost and be like, oh, like that's what I want because it's so out of reach.
Yeah, like I said before, it's like I'm gonna repeat myself, but it's like people are gonna get mad on certain ones of these certain sets that we're gonna rank lower, and it's like if you think of it like objectively and not like, oh, it's so nostalgic or base set is the reason Pokemon's where it is, all that kind of stuff. It's like just from like the set, like the cards in the set. It's just some of them just can't, like I can't put base set above Expedition. Like you just can't do it, right?
No, the art in Expedition
You just can't.
is so much better than base set art. It's so much better. It's you're paying for names at that point.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm just not a big Charizard guy either. Right?
No,
so it's like that's base set. So
and it doesn't help that you've seen it reprinted. How many times PK did it on a video one time? He went through every time Charizard base set Charizard's been reprinted, and it was like a 3-minute conversation of him.
I think it was like 14 or something like that.
It's some ridiculous number. So like, it loses its luster too. It lost its luster. Like
yeah.
So yeah, that's base set for you, everyone.
Oh man, I almost want to put it in an S tier just so I'm not canceled.
Let's cancel it up. Just put it in Y right next to 2.
Let's do Aquapolis.
Okay.
Oh man, so this is a tough one because Lugia is my favorite Pokemon, and so I want to put it super high. You got the Crystal Lugia.
Yep.
It's got the amazing arts like all the other E-Series sets. But I actually think this is I used to say Aquapolis was like my favorite set of all time, and it's just like not. It's got like the cool Espeon art. It's got like an Entei, the Nidoking, the
that
Lugia, all
Entei slaps.
Yeah, that Entei definitely does slap. But it's like
that shout out to Skater Nesto. That's in Nishida, and we had a huge conversation on Instagram about Nishida. He sent me a ton of pictures one day, and he was like, "Just start looking." And that art is so beautiful. Actually, I'm gonna pull it up on the screen right now because it is such a pretty art.
All right.
Oh no. Bulbapedia is being stupid today. All right.
I mean, you don't have to pull it up.
No, I'm not going to pull it up. It's not
Oh, man. I mean, my favorite card in the set's obviously the Crystal Lugia, and that's like a grail of mine that one day I want to get. I think, it's surprising. I think E-Series sets are my favorite out of all of Watsi. I think I'm going to put it in the A tier.
In the A tier?
Yeah, and I almost I go back and forth all the time between Skyridge Expedition and Aquapolis, which one's my favorite. Right now, I'm kind of more leaning towards having Expedition a little higher. But yeah, I think I'm going to put it A tier for now. And I'm going to still think about it after you start talking about it. So
okay. So yeah, this set introduced Crystal Pokemon. It was the Kingdra, the Lugia, the Nidoking. Like I said, got the Entei art sheet in it. It just hits. This again, E-Series art at its finest. You don't lose when the art's looking. Again, another set I didn't get to open. For most of these cards that I see now, like at shows and whatnot, and it's like, oh, I saw that card. Right, well, what set is this from? So it's like cool learning about all these sets. I don't have the biggest, backlog of knowledge in my mind about Pokemon, but I like to think I don't have a terrible eye for what cards look like and what good arts are and whatnot. Again, E-Series, it's definitely not Expedition or Skyridge level for me. The Lugia is a beautiful card. Can't deny that. I'm gonna give it a B.
a B, okay.
All right,
that's fair.
Yeah, I think it's fair, especially because Skyridge and Expedition definitely rank higher for me than that set. They have a few more cards in it that I really dig.
Yeah, I just like I'm so biased because I just love Lugia so much, and that's like my I don't
I
know if
just
it's my favorite Lugia card, but it's definitely close if it's not number one.
yeah, it's just it's a shame. Like, I mean, I guess the E series thing didn't get a lot of leash, unfortunately. And like this is like the last couple sets that Watsi produced before they lost licensing. It's just funny that the last couple sets they produced were their best sets. And it just it just fell apart for them. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I
these
find that
sets just like
interesting.
it just feels like every hit you look at is just like that's a banger, that's a banger, that's a banger, that's
Yeah,
a banger,
it
that's a
just
banger, and
it's
it just never
exactly
ends. It
nope,
never
never freaking
ends.
ends. It's so good all the time.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Hmm, let's go jungle. So it's jungle. A lot of people have a problem with jungle. It's a smaller set. It's only 64 cards in the set. Um, it's got some cool, like I like the Flareon, the Jolteon are very nice cards. Um, you know, the Mr. Mime's terrible. There's a lot of not good in it as well. Like I said, it's a very small set. I think the Flareon and the Jolteon are probably the two most impressive cards. Scyther's cool too. Just always cool having Scyther.
Snorlax is fire.
Yeah, Snorlax is good too. Just sitting there waving, his big belly hanging out. Um, I can't rank this one. I don't think any higher than base set. It's not as good as base set. It's just, same art style as base set, same all of that. Didn't really add anything extra to the, interesting to it. I mean, obviously, because it's all just base, but I don't think it upped the game at all. I'm going to go ahead and stick it in C tier next to base set. I don't have really much to say about Jungle. I opened a bunch of Jungle packs too. It was cool. Fossil was definitely the better expansion out of those two.
Cool. This one's tough. Jungle and Fossil are both very tough for me because I feel like 7 days out of the week, 4 times I might pick Jungle and 3 times I might pick Fossil, which one I like better. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, what you said, the evolutions are awesome cards. I like all 3 of them actually, for their own reasons. And then, like I said, the Snorlax is really good. I like the no symbol jungle cards as well. I think those are really cool. But yeah, I might agree with you and put it in C as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
it's fair. Like it's definitely fair. It's not.
It's a good set. It's just like the exact opposite of what I said about the E series sets, where it feels like the hits are more limited than hit after hit after hit. Where there's only a couple cards I would really like to have.
Yeah.
In these sets, so
nostalgia feel too. Like if you're going there, like as a kid, pulling a hollow card was cool, regardless of what you pulled. Like it was just awesome. Hollow card, sweet. So like I wasn't thinking about values and stuff when I was a kid. I was just putting stuff in my binder and enjoying it, like happy I was pulling hollows.
yeah.
So like nostalgic wise, like it's those are ranked higher. Like we were ranking nostalgia wise, like a lot of these would be higher than they are. But that's just not how we're ranking them. And again, it's just more bland artworks that we've seen reprints of, and I'm sorry, man. Like I'm spoiled. I'm a new into the hobby spoiled brat with all these hot artworks all the time. I don't know what to say. Like the Cricketune artwork from V-Star is more beautiful than all those artworks from those.
Oh, I don't know. That's pushing it a little bit. I mean, you could make a lot of arguments for a lot of cards, but I don't know if Cricketune. All right.
Oh shit.
All right. Let's just do it. I'll do Fossil now.
Okay.
I had to pull it up again just to see.
I'm pulling them up as you're going too.
And it's like, okay, I think the Dragonite card's my favorite out of the set for sure. I think the Gengar is just, it's cool.
That's one of the worst Gengar cards.
I mean, the the Gengar hits for me because I remember it as a kid. Like Haunter being a hollow is kind of weird to me. Lapras is cool. Obviously the Moltres, Articuno, Zapdos are cool. I don't know. I kind of like the jungle hollows a little better. I think
I like this. The Zapdos in this is hot. I like the Zapdos.
I like the base Zapdos better. I don't know.
I pulled so many Zapdos from fossil packs, hollow ones. I must have pulled 3 or 4 of them as a kid. Just endless Zapdos.
I think I have to rate fossil the same as I rated jungle and put it in C because I can't decide which one I like better. Like I said, if I put them next to each other, half the time I'm probably gonna pick jungle and half the time I'm probably gonna pick fossil.
I'll go C with you. Like I'm not against going C there. It's a good set. It's just an expansion set to base. It's got 62 cards in it. Jungle had 64, so they're not huge sets, but for what they are, it's just I don't want to rank them lower than C either. Like they're for what they are. Like that's where the nostalgia saves them. I think in my mind for going lower.
Yeah, that's like I just have to keep saying it. Nostalgia wise, most of these sets are like AS, but yeah, I just can't say like Fossil's better than Aquapolis, right?
No,
it's just not.
It's not the truth. It's be a lie.
And I don't believe like some people will probably comment, some people will probably make an argument, and I just don't believe that. Like you can't convince me that people like Fossil better than those other sets.
Don't believe them.
They're just lying. They're lying because they probably own a bunch of fossils or something.
Or they never open any of the other sets. Like I'm sure that collect just those 3 sets because that's what they opened when they were kids and they don't care about anything else, which is cool. If that's what you're about, man. Be
For
about
sure. That's just not what I'm about, right?
No.
I just like everything. I like everything.
Yeah. I like good art. I'm a big fan of good art on the cards. It's a lot of it for me. We know you don't like artist PoNGa, but that's fine.
No, we don't talk about that.
Hey, you don't say that.
Yeah, we don't go there.
Let's go. Let's go Neo Destiny. All right.
One of the few boxes I had to take a different picture of.
Yeah, that one looks like it's like a picture that someone has the box.
Yeah, see all these boxes I had, they're all mine, right? So I had really good scans of most of them. This one I had to take a quick picture of because I didn't have a good scan of it.
PoNGa, that's hysterical. All right, Neo Destiny introduced light Pokemon. It was also the first set to have first edition stamp in English. No, that's a lie. No. Oh, that was so stupid to say. Hold on.
Cancel this guy. This guy's an idiot.
Cancel. What a freaking dumbass. I wrote this down literally from this before, so let's see what it said. Oh man. The final. Sorry, it was the final English set with the first edition stamp. I apologize, everyone.
Yeah.
Can't write. 8 shining Pokemon in it. Celebi, Charizard, Kabutops, Mewtwo, Noctowl, Raichu, Steelix, and Tyranitar. Just iconic cards from the set.
Which one's your favorite? Which one's your favorite shining in the set?
I like the Celebi and the Mewtwo. I'd say those are my 2 favorite.
Yeah, Mewtwo's my favorite, I think.
Yeah, Mewtwo's really cool shining. I like that a lot. The Celebi's cool too. I'm a big fan of Celebi artwork, just all around. Like it's always doing the flip or something cool in the box, the art box. I'm a big fan of that. This set, just because of the shinings, hits pretty damn hard. It's got a ton of dark Pokemon hollows, light Pokemon hollows. Dark Tyranitar, the Dark Typhlosion card is fantastic. Big fan of that card. He just looks mean and awesome in it. Typhlosion. He has a couple derpy looking cards, so that's one of the cool ones that he has. I would like to rank this set. Oh man, I mean it's definitely higher than. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna stick this in a. I'm gonna stick this in A because of the shining Pokemon. I think it's an A tier set. Like those, I know that Revelation was like the first set for Shinings, but this one really flushed it out a lot better. And then I mean, we still get Shining Pokemon today to see where they came from. This was also the set where the Pokemon were shining themselves. There was no hollow foil on the back; like they were just like metallic looking, which was awesome. So
Yeah, this is the set why I dropped Revelation, because I was originally I put it in A, and then I was like, well, if I'm looking at just the Neo sets, which one's my favorite? And I feel like I used to always say Genesis, but Destiny's. I mean, I'm just like looking at the cards, and like you said, you pointed out a bunch of them. I think the Gengar one's absolute gas. I think the light Arcanine might be one of my favorite arts in Pokemon in general, like all of Pokemon history. And like some of the other cards, like Dark Magcargo is one of the coolest cards I've ever seen. And Light
I'm looking at it
Jolteon,
right now. That is a
Light,
cool card.
yeah, I have the set in front of me just to like call out some of the non-hits, right? The Light Jolteon with Jolteon and Togepi. And like Togepi's kind of like in Jolteon's arms laying down. One of the best cards I think in Pokemon's history as well. And then like, some of the other cards, like it has the Vaporeon and all that kind of stuff, the Espeon, even like the Dark Porygon I like. Yeah, I think this is an A set for me. Like Light Dragonair. God, I'm just like looking at the set and it's just like banger art after banger art. I think this is the best Neo set. And then like you said, the 8 Shinings are just kind of icing on the cake, right? Where it just kind of carries it even further outside of those other cards I mentioned.
Yeah, and yeah. I mean, I was just looking at the Light Jolteon. That card hits. And like you said, it's not even a hit in the set. It's just a cool artwork. And that's what they started doing. They started making those artworks were just as impressive. May not be hollow, but it's a cool art. So A tier it is. It's a great tier. Finally we have one in A proper.
Yeah, it's just like I can't stop looking at the set. It's just like banger after banger. And it's like, not the banger cards aren't like always the most popular Pokemon, right? And like outside of that, it's got all the popular, like Dark Houndoom's a really cool card as well. I really like Houndoom as a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Light Machamp, like there's just so many different art styles in this set. I gotta close the tab because I'll never get off of it. But it's
Dark Gengar hot too. I forgot that one's even there. That card is fantastic.
Fire.
Yeah, that's like the most sinister Gengar like look he has. No, that's a good card. Yeah,
that's like that's a Gengar card, man. That is a Gengar card.
Yeah, yeah, big time. There's a couple good Gengar cards coming up actually. So yeah, A tier, baby.
All right,
you're picking PoNGa.
Yeah. What do I want to do?
The last 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Neo Discovery. So Neo Discovery is another good set. I think most of the Neo sets are pretty solid. It's got the typical Umbreon, Espeon in the set, but then, it's got the Houndoom. I like the Kabutops a lot, actually. And weirdly enough, I really like the Smeargle Hollow.
Well, that Kabutops art is one of the better arts in the Watsi block.
Yeah,
like, it's
really nice.
Really nice. Like he just looks so angry. I'm pretty sure it has to be the same artist that did a lot of those front-facing action like shots of the Pokemon.
Maybe. I don't know artists, man. You know this. I don't know.
You're not a big fan of them. The Espeon, 1 out of 75. That I think is probably one of the best Espeon arts of all time. The background on it with the green like aura. And then it just looks like he's floating through space. Like it's such a cool, like the Aurora Borealis, like it's just like such a cool, iconic card from the set. I also like the box art is on point too, man. Like I like the box art from the Neos is so much better than Jungle Fossil base and Legendary. Like they just go so harder. So they even I think they outdo the E-Series boxes as well.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's very good, man. I don't know. I like the box art on these a little bit more. So, where are you ranking it?
Yeah, so you started talking about what you liked. I wasn't done yet, man.
I'm sorry,
So
PoNGa.
I really like the Wobbuffet in this set. I think it's Wobbuffet's best card ever, maybe, unless I'm forgetting one. But something about Wobbuffet on the art, like it just pops. And then you have like other iconic cards in the set, like Yanma is a really iconic one just because of how hard it is to get a PSA 10 in and how expensive that is. But I think the main issue with this is I feel like it's super, super top heavy when it comes to the Pokemon in it. And like it does have a Tyranitar, not my favorite Tyranitar art. So ranking it, oh man, I feel like I'm putting everything in the same tier, but I think I'm probably around like B tier.
Okay. I'll agree with the B tier just because it's definitely not where Destiny is. Neo Destiny is, I think, a little bit above all the other Neo sets.
Yeah.
So I think B tier is very fair, and I can't rank them in good faith under Jungle and Fossil.
Right.
I think D tier is kind of going to go unused. Because I don't think there's anything worse than Jungle and Fossil on this list anymore. So that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I hate like putting so many in like those mid tiers, but I mean,
I think it's fair.
There's just a lot of solid sets in Watsi.
Yeah, I mean, if we ranked everything S tier, no one would watch this. Not
Yeah,
going to be.
And if you put base set in D tier or something, you're canceled. So you got to kind of play the middle game.
Yes, that's why it's between B and C. It's literally right in the middle of the field.
Yeah,
you can't get any worse or any better. So, all right, let's go Skyridge.
Ooh.
All right,
to go on.
So Skyridge box art, you're right, is pretty fire. It's an awesome box art. It's got the hoe on the front, the Kabutops, and the Golbat. Just kind of chilling there, which Golbat's hysterical that he's on there because why is Golbat on anything? But he is. It's the final expansion released by Watsi.
You said Golbat, you mean Crobat.
Oh, Crobat. God, Crobat. Sorry. Terrible with names.
Cancel him. He doesn't know Pokemon.
I suck. Wait till we do the tier, the Who's That Pokemon? It's going to be really bad. And listen, we all know I'm bad at it. I came in last place in Dan's thing. Last place. So I'm not going to pretend I know every Pokemon bad. I just don't. It's just what it is. Dude, so many crystal Pokemon in this set. Celebi, Charizard, Crobat, Golem, Ho-Oh, and Kabutops. The Alakazam art is on point again. Another great Alakazam art. The Gengar art is on point.
The Gengar is fire.
Gengar is fire, dude. Like the art for the Gengar is so good. And the Gyarados is my favorite. So when I was on with PK, the first ever time I was on a live, he asked me what my favorite Gyarados art was. And I said it was the Revelation Shining Gyarados. That's a lie. It's the Gyarados from this set. He is so mean and angry looking. Again, I'm pretty sure it's got to be the same guy that did Kabutops. And the Blastoise and the rest of those Pokemon that are forward facing. That Gyarados is hot. The Gengar is on point, and the Alakazam is good. Like those are the three that I wrote down that I really wanted to touch on. That being said, I don't think the set is as good as Expedition. I like the arts in Expedition a little bit more. The Crystal Pokemon are great. I know the Crystal Charizard's going through the roof, it was through the roof. It's still a pretty highly priced card. Again, I like the Celebi more than the Crystal Charizard. That's just me. I think I'm going to rank this just a straight A.
That's solid. Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at cards you didn't mention. I love the Nidoqueen, weirdly enough. Kind of like a derpy card, but it just looks really cool. I don't know why I really like Politoed cards. Weird Pokemon I like, but yeah, it's got the best.
That Politoed's a good art. That's a good artwork for that one. I do like the Politoed. So like I like seeing these in binders. Like I love seeing the E-Series cards in binders. Yeah. It looks so good in binders. Like especially when it's E-Series, and it's just like rows of them. It's just like it just everything looks so good next to each other. Like Polytoad's nice. I like the Poliwrath too. He's just hanging out, chilling on, relaxing on the beach. So there's
Yeah,
so many good
it's got
art.
a better Umbreon card than the Moonbreon.
Oh yeah, that's right. We didn't even mention that in the last thing. Yeah, the
Yeah.
original Moon. Yeah, the Espeon's hot and the Moonbreon, but I like the Espeon in that set better.
I like the Moltres is really nice. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go A tier with you. I
Okay.
really like Skyridge. And I think it's like I go back and forth, like I said, with the E series sets, I go back and forth between all of them, which one I like the most. So if I did this tier list like 5 different times, it'd probably be a different answer every time. But I think it's definitely a solid A.
And
For
I
me.
think Skyridge. I think Skyridge gets a lot of publicity. Not even publicity. It's like a lot of mentions just because of the Charizard that's in it.
Well,
I
that
do.
and how like expensive it is, right?
Yeah,
And
like,
scarce
and
it
that's,
is.
but I think, yeah, oh yeah, because it's extremely scarce. Last set they didn't do multiple print runs of it. But like the Charizard definitely adds to that, like, chase in there. So I'd be interested to know what the print runs on some of these were. That would be awesome.
Do you even have an S tier?
An S tier here?
Yeah.
No.
Man, this guy's soft. He can't even give the best set.
The best set is Expedition. It's right there.
Yeah, but I put it in S. You put it in A.
Do you want me to say S?
No, I don't want you to say
Will that
S.
make you feel better?
I wanted you to have at least one S set.
No, I don't have to have S every time.
Yeah. All right, it's my turn.
I think if I had opened some more of these sets, there would be an S set feel for me. But I didn't open any of these. Like, I didn't open the majority of these sets growing up. And I haven't opened any since being back in the hobby because I just can't justify spending that to open a incorrectly weighed heavy pack that's gonna get me not hollow.
Yeah, that's fair. I think I'm gonna do Neo Gen and then save the gym sets for last. So I feel like when I'm not looking at the sets in front of me, I always feel like I would have gone to Neo Gen, being the first Neo set, being a huge Gen 2 guy, being a huge Lugia fan is like the top Neo set, and it's just not. I think if you look at like expensive cards you're collecting, it has the T17, it has the first edition Lugia if you're looking at the first edition version. And so that kind of what elevates it. But like just from like a set itself, like I love Feraligatr. Feraligatr Totodile might be one of my favorite starters ever, but like the Feraligatr arts, especially like the number 4 one, just doesn't hit for me. And then like the other Pokemon in the set, like Kingdra, Heracross, Azumarill, Jumpluff, like it just kind of got a bunch of mid for me. I really like the Pichu though. That's a really good art for me. I like the 2 different colors on each side. Oh man, I don't know where I want to rank it though. I think, let me see what else is here. God, I hate to put it in B again, but I think I'm gonna have to put it in. I don't know. I'm kind of in between C and B to be honest, but I also don't think it's on the same level as Jungle and Fossil. So I think for that reason alone, I have to put it on B tier.
Okay, lots of B tiers.
Yeah,
it's definitely carried by the Lugia. This set. I do like the Slow King. I like the Slow King from the set too. I like Slow King as a Pokemon also.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't get a lot of love. I definitely like his. Funny enough, it's not in here, but at Bulbapedia puts down Southern Islands as a set for Watsi. And that has a really cool Slow King card in it as well. So, but that being said, again, I think it's the Lugia that carries the set. It's a Lugia card. I don't think it's the best Lugia card. It's just the first. I guess when everything was going crazy, people were dying over Lugias as well. It was just another card that people were really hunting for, really after. So I think that's why people would rank this higher than it, I guess, needed to be. I'm going to go with PoNGa, but I don't know. I'm not going to put this. I'm going to put this as a C. Um,
It's
not a
definitely
B.
my least favorite Neo set, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's my least favorite Neo set too. Like, look, especially like, and it's been nice that we've actually been opening the cards up and looking at them as we've been going, just to like be able to hash some stuff out. Yeah, I think it's definitely my least favorite. Look at that downward slant we got going there.
So many mid sets.
Mid sets, baby. Expedition sitting on the top though, looking fine.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I keep going. I keep looking back, and it's like sometimes I like Skyridge better than Expedition. I kind of yeah. Okay, we'll finish, and then maybe we'll hash out a few of the changes. But all right, what's your last nomination?
Oh man, let's go with
Challenge or Heroes.
let's go. We can go with Challenge because I know that you said that you like Gym Heroes a little bit more on the pre. So I'll let you talk about Gym Heroes first, but I'll go Gym Challenge. Let's see. Gym Challenge came out second, 132 cards in the set. It's a 6-man expansion. It's got Blaine's Arcanine in it. Blaine's Charizard. Blaine's Charizard is a sharp card. I do like the action shots of Pokemon. Big fan of that. It's got the Rocket Zapdos, which I'm a big fan of that card as well. I think that the Gym Challenge series did good with that, and the Moltres from the Hero set. Let's see. Does this one have Koga's? I think
Challenge is Koga's Ditto. Which card are you talking about?
It in the Japanese version, it's a banned card. Oh yeah, it's Koga's Ninja Trick.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's a cool card. It's got a couple of those too. It's got Misty's Tears and Koga's Ninja Trick, which are both banned on the banned list and banned list. The arts are different from the English to Japanese version, which I find cool. Just like a little tidbit to put out there. So I like the whole gimmick of having the gym leaders in there as well. I think that's very cool. It was like an awesome thing to put in. It's cool seeing their faces on the card and like the little art boxes on the side. I'm a big fan of all of that as well. Some of them, like I'm looking like Giovanni's Machamp's a really good looking card. Like there's Rocket's Mewtwo is another awesome card. Just going through and clicking through some of these. Lieutenant Surge's Raichu. I actually graded one Japanese one as a 10. From my childhood binder. I had a Japanese one for whatever reason, which was awesome to pull a 10 on that. But that being all said, though, like Gym Challenge is cool. They don't hold a candle to any of the E-Series sets. I'm going to have to rank this probably like a B. I think a B is safe. I don't want to go down further because the arts definitely start advancing with these two sets. Something happened. I don't know. I think someone said something to someone at Pokemon was like, we need to do something here because they start like the art's actually starting to advance a little bit, starting to get a little bit cooler. And, some of the cards, like, again, that Charizard, not the biggest Charizard fan, but like that's one of the ones where like he looks really cool for like, I think the first time, like he's just looking really awesome. So.
Yeah, I think before we started recording, I think I said I liked Heroes better. I think I like Challenge better because I feel like it's got more depth to it in the hits. Like you said, I really like the Koga's Ditto a lot, actually.
It's a hard card to grade too.
Kind of fits my my
great
shirt.
Ditto shirt, by the way.
Ditto's just such a cool Pokemon. I really, really like Erica's Venusaur. Rocket's Mewtwo, like you said. I like Nidoking and Nidoqueen in general, but I think those are super underrated Pokemon. I think I'd probably be with you though and put it in B tier. I think it's a step up from Fossil Jungle type sets, but it's not on par with some of the Neo and E series sets.
The Sabrina's Gengar is really cool in that set too. I will say, I do like the Sabrina's Gengar.
Gengar's in Heroes.
Oh, no. Nope, Gym Challenge. Looking at it right now. Sabrina's Gengar, 29 out of 32. It's a non-hollow.
Oh, you're talking about that Gengar. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you
No,
were talking about the hollow. I was like, what are you
no,
talking about?
no, the hollow one, the Japanese, where they have the crosses in the back that they
Yeah,
took out of
yeah.
the English. Another
Yeah, you're
banned
talking
card.
about the one with the moon behind him. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
really nice card.
it's a sweet card. Big fan of that one too. So, I mean, Gengar is a fan favorite. There's not much you can say bad about Gengar at this point in time. Like
Yeah, it's
he's,
also nice having like a super cool card that's not a hollow, right? That you
yeah.
still feel like you got a hit. So,
All right. And for the
all right.
last set,
So, Gym Heroes is a pretty interesting set in English because I don't know if a lot of people know this, but the Neo or the gym sets in Japanese are a little different where the top hits in the English set in Heroes, like the Gengar and stuff, were actually all in the same set as like um, the top hits in the Gym Challenge set. So they kind of in English spread it across the two different sets, and that's why I say it's hard for me to rank them because Gym Heroes has a lot of cards I really like. I really like the Dragonair in the set. I really like the Moltres. I really like the Gengar, which, as Beerski said, is a banned card in Japanese. It's got the graveyard behind him, and then I really like the Rockets Moltres as well. I think like rating wise, it's probably just like
now do you like Rocket Moltres or Blaine Moltres better?
oh yeah, I'm sorry. Did I say Rockets Moltres? I meant Blaine's Moltres in
Okay.
Heroes. I'm sorry. Yeah, I misspoke. But yeah, I think I like the Blaine's Moltres better.
It's a better card.
Yeah. I just like all the hollow on it. I think it looks really nice. I
It's
can't
just
believe I said Rockets Moltres. That's not what I meant.
yeah, he looks legendary in
Um,
that. Like for a legendary bird, he looks legendary in that
yeah,
picture. In the
that's a
art.
really good way to put it. It looks like a legendary Pokemon in
It
that.
looks like a legendary Pokemon. Like, and I graded one of these. Had a Japanese one as well. I graded it a 9.5 at CGC before they were when they were Blue Label.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put a B
Pretty
tier.
card.
I think. Oh man,
You have
I
to
don't know
make
if
room.
I think I like Challenge a little better than Heroes. I changed my mind. Where do you have it?
I think we can stick it. They're both similar. I can't. They're better arts than Jungle and Fossil. Like I said, they're starting to find their legs, and then they come into the Neo sets, and it just starts really bumping up. So I'll stick it in B. We did a lot of
Yes.
B's today.
Yeah. So what's our recap on Watsi? It's all mid or what?
I if you're comparing it to everything that's ever been released, yeah, it's a little bit more mid. Like
So
some of
I
but
think when you
also
I think when you compare the sets to more modern stuff, I think the E series sets hold up a little better for me.
yes.
And like I said at the beginning, I like most of these sets. I think besides like base set 2, Jungle Fossil, I think the rest of the sets are really high up there when it's like all-time sets. Like I think a lot of these sets are better than some of the modern sets we get just from like how I like them and the art style. I think we just all need to call you out though for you're just a Watsi hater. You don't have any S tier Watsi sets.
I mean, the closest one would be Expedition, but again, like I said, like I don't have like a crazy amount of experience opening these sets. So like that,
Yeah.
I think that's what's holding back. Like if I had opened some cool cards from these sets, and like now it's going to card shows and like look, like I can't wait to go to Orlando and have you watch my pathetic little case next to you as I go around and look at some E-Series cards to try and pick some stuff up. But yeah, like I love seeing the E-Series and stuff in binders. Like I said, like there's just you notice them, your eyes go right to them. Even if you're not looking for them, it's just like boom, E-Series card. Even if it's not a hollow, it's the most common of common. I mean, I like the way they look. I feel just I have big, for whatever reason, big feels for those cards. I don't know why. I just like the way they look.
Yeah.
So they had it. So I don't know. Compared to everyone else, like compared to themselves, and we're like ranking them against themselves. I think it's hard to rank a lot of them over each other. I think that's why we went B. For a lot of them, it's hard to rank some of these higher than others. But
Yeah, I mean,
or
I think we could have broken up. Like, I think
like if you put these sets up against some other sets, they're going to be higher than a lot other sets that are in Pokemon. I think you were saying that. Like I'm
yeah,
not saying that, but these are just Watsi sets. We're ranking them for what they are for here. We ranked Watsi and you know Heart Gold, Soul Silver, or something. I'm sure some of these sets would be higher just because, but it is
yeah.
what it is.
I think like my top 4 sets for sure out of all of these are what we have ranked there, where it's Aquapolis, Skyridge, Destiny, Expedition, and I think a lot of those are interchangeable for me,
Yeah, I mean,
depending on the day.
depending on the day, I feel good about it. I'm all about good arts in the Pokemon. Like if
Yeah,
the arts are good, and that's what holds those other 3 sets back.
for sure,
Base, Jungle, Fossils. The art is just not there for me. So,
for sure.
well, that's our tier list. Please don't hit the unsubscribe button. I know this is not what a lot of you wanted to see, but it's what you got.
Hey, I mean, we didn't say anything really negative about them, about a lot of them. It's just like in comparison to each other, like there's better ones, and it's a lot of it's subjective, right?
Yeah,
And it's how you rate them, right? Like like we said, if you rate it just off purely nostalgia, like obviously base sets S tier, like for anyone really that's been in Pokemon for a long time. So yeah, I like how we did it though.
Yeah, I feel good about it. It's always good to feel good about it when you're done. All right, I'm going to remove that, and we are going to go on to our next segment, which is beer pong.
Yes, sir.
Cheers.
Yeah.
All right, for beer pong today, we have. Let me pull it up. Oh, the Japanese versus English conversation. PoNGa has an unfair advantage here with all of his Japanese knowledge, so I am going to take the Japanese side of this argument today, and run with that and let him take the English side. And I'm going to let PoNGa go start.
Oh man, I wanted you to start. Okay. Yeah, I mean, first off, like obviously English cards are better because we can read them. And so I like to be able to read my cards. The one thing
I hate that argument. I think it's the worst argument in English versus Japanese. Like, do you read the fucking card ever? No one reads the card. Tell me what Charizard's move is on, I don't know, Crystal Charizard. What's that? No one knows. You're just looking at the artwork. So I'm sorry.
That was a little bit of a meme to start. But yeah, I mean English cards, I know a lot of people might like argue against it, but I like really large sets. I think especially like a lot of the modern Japanese sets tend to be a little too small. And if you like open it, like, how cheap boxes are right now, if you open a lot of the boxes, like I think you get a lot of repeat hits just because of how small the cards are or how small the sets are. So I think that's like one thing I really like about the English sets. I don't know if you could tell from the tier list, I like when there's a large pool of hits that I enjoy rather than just a few cards. So, I think of like sets like Fusion Strike that are giant, like how many hits I would love to pull out of there. I think I like a lot of our like like English specialty sets, how they're like made up and how you go about buying them, like the sealed product. I kind of like how they're a lot different where they don't necessarily have booster boxes. And there's kind of those like set packaging like ETBs, or now we have booster bundles, all that kind of stuff. Where it makes it feel like a different experience, right? Like when you look at Japanese sets, obviously the booster boxes have a different amount of sets when it comes to like high class sets and all that, but it just feels a little different opening something like an ETB versus a booster box. Yeah, I'll leave it there for now. I'll let you go, and then I'll argue a few more points I have.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start off with the set names for Pokemon in Japanese. They're so much cooler from the beginning, like so much cooler. The fossil set for the fossil set in Japanese and English, just like in English, it's just fossil. In Japanese, it's some like hidden moon or to the moon or some crazy shit. Like it's got all these crazy names for Japanese sets. I love Clayburst. Like, come on, like we're coming out here. So I'm a big fan of the set names. The pack arts are all S tier. I love the pack arts on Japanese sets, especially the vintage sets. Way cooler. Big fan of that. Their release events for promos are much cooler. Going back in the day, like I'm gonna talk about this in a little bit actually, but like the Pokemon illustration contest in 1997, like get the promos that way, like you had to win an illustration contest, like stuff like that is so cool. I think underdone in this country. It happened in the U.S. a few times, but I think just like the way Japan has sets released and do things with sets is cooler. Quality control in the Japanese sets outweighs the English set. I can open Neo premium files and still hit tens on cards. We can open old sets. Old sets of English cards are busted. Print quality wasn't the best in them. So I'm gonna let that sit. Oh no, and the set sizes for English are far too big. I hate big set sizes. Who the hell wants to try and get 180 cards plus 180, and then add all the secrets and all the other stuff that comes behind that? I also don't like how you have to buy all the products to even get full sets, like Crown Zenith, for instance, V-Star Universe. You get all those hits, open a V-Star, but you have to go buy 3 different pins to get the promos, the legendary bird promos. So, like, I don't know, I like that as much either. I feel like that's more, gouging the customer and actually giving you the whole.
Yeah, it's funny because like a lot of the stuff you're saying, so like the pack arts, like you said, Japan has cool pack arts, but I like how English sets have multiple different pack arts for each set. I think, obviously I always talk about how I'm a big sealed pack collector. So having multiple options when it comes to pack arts, some of the sets I get multiple arts of, not just one. So I like that about it. Obviously you could weigh English packs, but Japanese packs are like the easiest thing to weigh in the entire world if anyone's ever done it. Like it's 100% hit rate, where some of the English sets could be kind of hit or miss when it comes to modern. It's funny, you also say like promos in English and all that kind of stuff, but just like the Jet Black release in Japan, which is the Celebi alt art is a box promo, so it's not even in the set. So that's the case in both sides, both English ones. So I don't necessarily agree with that argument. Maybe English tends to be a little more, but then you could also make the argument that a lot of the hits in English are easily attainable, which is really nice for people. You could get a lot of cool arts without having to open packs. They're just kind of an add-on to the packs that you are opening. I like English. Like, I really like what they're doing right now with ETB promos. I really like how every set now has an ETB promo. It makes it feel better. I think a while back, if they didn't add those, like specialty sets were so awesome because you got a promo, but now it's just like an added bonus on top. I like how English now has silver borders, so that's one check on Japanese side. I like the silver borders better than English. I like in English how 151 doesn't have Master Balls, because Master Balls is the dumbest gimmick in Pokemon history.
Oh my goodness. Here we go. Hot take, he says. Listen to this. Now we're just grasping for straws, man.
No.
We're just trying to say hurtful things to win an argument. That's messed up.
Yeah, but I think I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. Those are all my points.
All right. So back to just the set names being cooler, I will say it is Mystery of the Fossils compared to Fossil. Instead of Team Rocket, it's Rocket Gang. Like, some of the names are just so much cooler. Like, I like the old set names. I like seeing them. Neo Genesis, like the Neo sets had cool names too.
Really? Because do you think the Neo sets are Neo 1, 2, 3? Those are really cool, right? Did you know that?
Are they Neo 1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
What?
Look it up.
I'm looking it up right now, because the one is what? A new. Let me see here. No, Gold Silver to a New World is Neo Genesis.
Yeah, but they're called like Neo, like for example, I'm looking it up right here. Like, wait, let me see here. Yeah,
Neo Discovery 3. Crossing the Ruins. Like,
yeah,
it's awesome.
But like, what they're known to be is like Neo 1, 2, 3. And that's like what they're always referred to.
Oh yeah. Well, so funny enough, we're going to talk about that with my item of the not item of the week, my rabbit hole, which is funny. So that's true.
Okay.
Like a lot of those names are given like other names to make it easier.
I guess my
for,
point
people to pick.
my point with bringing that up is like I feel like yeah, the names are cool, but they're so forgettable. Like no one actually knows what they are.
Yeah,
Like
like I forgot the name.
yeah, like
I'll give you that. Like I'm
that's
trying
why
to
I was
argue with you here.
that's why I was like looking it up. Like yeah, there might be like actual names for it, but like to me, the Neo sets are just like numbers. Yeah, it's just super interesting. Um,
So yeah, I don't know. Japanese is cool and English sucks. Win. That's it. That's how you
yeah,
win an argument.
so now that we're done,
Don't make me pick my ball up and run home.
now that we're done, God, Japanese is so much better than English.
Thank you, PoNGa. It's so
You
much
didn't even
better.
you didn't even make the best argument either. It's like all these like the art on some of the products.
Oh,
like
the products are awesome. Yeah.
like all you have to say is like the poncho cards, and like there you are. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like so I think Japanese product feels way more premium to me.
Yeah.
Whenever you get it. Like the specialty deck that came out not that long ago, the Venusaur, Blastoise, and Charizard specialty decks that came out with the Squirtle, Charmander, and Bulbasaur promos. Like that box art is cool. But they've been doing that forever. Like Japanese sets have been doing that forever. Even coming down, like we're going to talk about it real shortly. Vending series stuff, like the vending series sheets are just cool to have. Like the Southern Island stuff is cool to have. The premium files are cool to have. The world's Pokemon, the world's Pikachu. It's just like everything they do is just cool. It looks more premium. It's a more premium product. Like I think it's over here. It's more just get it out to as many people, mass produce as much as you can, and make it as easy as possible. I think over there, they just put a little bit more love into it. Like the Eevee's Heroes box, like the deck box for that. Yeah, like that is
the deck box. I just had
there you go, booster box there. Like the Eevee Heroes deck box is super cool. Stuff, just stuff like that. The Mario collaboration box is cool. Like all that stuff just looks super premium. The Unigaba box, even the white box, it was just cool. Like I like all that stuff is very sharp. So you're right. Like you can go much further into how much cooler Japanese stuff is.
I was trying to make stuff up when it came to the Neo set names. I was just trying to grasp at anything because I was like, I started arguing for it and I was like, wow, I don't even agree with what I'm saying at all.
All right. Well, that's beer pong.
That was a good one. I like how challenging it is, because I like how you didn't give me Japanese because
you would have just steamrolled me.
There's a million things I could say for Japanese. That's why it's.
But it's good to see the other side. Like I think again, more people need that in just regular life.
Yeah.
Seeing stuff from the other side. All right. So we're done with that. We are going to go into our next segment, and that is rabbit holes. I can start this one off if you want, PoNGa.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. So my rabbit hole. Let's see. Let me stop screens. All right. I'm going to get ready. So my rabbit hole is Vending Series 1. He did say Vending Series, but I started looking through a ton of stuff. I have pages of notes here for this podcast tonight. So I'm gonna just go over everything I learned over the past couple of days about Vending Series 1. Vending Series 1 is not the actual name of the sheets. They're called expansion sheets in Japanese, but it was given the name Vending Series just because they came out of a vending machine. March 23rd, 1998 release. There's 36 cards in the set, 18 sheets with 3 cards in total on each sheet, and cardboard damage counters and coins as well. The card stock is glossy, as opposed to like the matte finish that most of the cards in that time did have. There's 3 illustration contest winners. They had their drawings used on some of the cards in Series 1, and that is Mr. Mime, Snorlax, and Poliwrath. I'm going to pull these up right now just so everyone can see them. We'll pull up Mr. Mime first. So this is the Mr. Mime I was talking about the other day.
Tiger.
It is a fire card, and I had no idea that it wasn't from a regular Pokemon artist, and that was from an illustration contest, which makes the card even that much cooler. I do have the Classic Collection or TCG Classic Collection card right here, CGC 10. I know a lot of people throw shade at Mr. Mime. I am a big Mr. Mime fan. I like Mr. Mime. I also like Jinx. Like I like those one-off Pokemon from Gen 1. I really was a big fan. I didn't like that they gave them baby versions later on. I just kind of liked that they were just, again, with like Scyther and Pinsir, like I liked that they were just kind of like standalone. Tauros just like did their own thing. It was cool not to have evolutions for everyone. But so that was one of the winners. Let me pull this down. I wish you could just skip through these. Let's see. Stop sharing. Present. Share screen. Now the Snorlax. Now this was drawn by a kid, like a much younger kid. It's another cool artwork. I'm a big fan of this artwork too. Everyone that won, there was 3 winners. Actually, there was 4 winners, but 3 winners from this set. They each got 20 copies of their card when they were done, when they were chosen as winners. And they each received an illustration Pikachu. This was the Koro Pokemon illustration contest. Started in 1997, ended in 1998. So that's like a cool little. I had no idea that there was even a correlation between vending series and that. So that's like an awesome. That's like one of the most iconic cards in Pokemon. Is the vending series? Not vending series. The Pikachu illustrator card. The only card that released from this series in English was the Pikachu. Releases Black Star Promo 27, and it was available in the VHS and DVD releases of The Power of One. It's just like a cool little set. It's cool that you have to peel the cards off these things. I watched a couple of videos on how you were to peel them off. Apparently, the condition of the cards in these is fantastic. A lot of the reason why there are such small amounts of 10s, though, is because there are no the centering is off on a lot of them, which was interesting to know. Again, another point for Japanese, like these coming out of like, so when you buy them like as bricks, it comes in like a cardboard box. I think PoNGa has one. He's looking up right now.
Yeah, I got a bag full of vending sheets up there.
Yeah, so I've never peeled any. I would like to. I guess I'll wait though. Like I don't want to just buy random one-off ones because they actually are numbered on the bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah, you can tell which ones
you can tell which ones they are. So like I said, there's 18 sheets. There are some duplicates from some sheets to the other. They follow like sheet 1 is Pallet Town's Professor Oak's office. So like they follow like the Pokemon that you would find in those areas are on the sheet. So it's just a cool little set. Big fan of what's going on with them. I really do like them. So that's vending series 1 for everyone.
Cool. I like vending series a lot. I'm missing a bunch of the sheets, and I keep looking up there because they're up there, and I don't know if I want to go grab them or not. But yeah, I think I have I think there was like a heritage auction one time, and I was like working out, and I was like, oh, I want to bid on this, and I got them for like $20 a sheet or something, which it wasn't too bad at the time. But I can't remember if I have like 8 or 10 of them or something. I don't remember, but they're really cool. I don't like how I store them. I literally just kept them in the bag that Heritage shipped them to me in. And I just never took them out. But
it's sometimes we have. I don't know.
I'm just like, I don't want to buy like large sleeves. Like I hate buying stuff for like such one-off type things. But yeah.
So I got a bunch of comic sleeves from buying the what the hell, the Southern Island Japanese sets. That's how they shipped them to me. They shipped them in like those. So I have a bunch of those just laying around with like little cardboard cutouts. So, all right, what's your rabbit hole, man?
All right, so the one you gave me was ColecoVision, which was super fitting for me. So I think I've said it a few times, but I've been so into video game content, and a lot of the content I watch is like people hunting or reselling products, and ColecoVision is one of those ones that like they're not always super excited about finding, but they find it and sometimes resell it, and it's a slow seller. But I just wrote down a few facts about it. So it originally released in 1982. So it was like kind of a direct competitor to like something like the Atari 2600. The really cool thing about this system itself was the real goal of it was to bring like arcade style games to home. So its like calling card was basically, or its selling point was having Donkey Kong for the first time outside of like a typical arcade that you could play at home. So it was, we've said it a lot when it comes to like gaming systems and our tier lists and stuff, like the handheld one, but the ColecoVision was like super ahead of its time. They wanted to make it like super advanced, like when it came to graphics and all that, like the internal hardware, compared to like the other consoles at the time. And it's, I read one article about it that it was like they wanted to make it so good that it was going to be too expensive for what it was, and so they actually kind of had to dumb it down a little bit. But over the course of its life, it had about 136 games. Like I said, the number one kind of highlight on it was the Donkey Kong game, and then I think its life cycle ended in 1985, so about 3 years after it originally came out, and that was when the company Coleco actually kind of pulled out of the video game market. Some other cool things that I learned about it was it kind of influenced the creation of the original Famicom and the original NES as well. So some cool things there. And like I said, like when you think of consoles that came out in the early 1980s, you think of like Atari and like Pong and stuff like that. And this was just like a super advanced version where it might have been one of those things that didn't catch on as much as it could have because of how ahead it was for that time period.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I was looking at some of the other games on it. No, none that really jumped out. Like, I think they made an attempt to get as many licensing agreements. Like they had some Sega games. Obviously it was a big notable one, like I said a few times now, with Donkey Kong and Nintendo. So yeah, really cool system. They tried to remain relevant. Like, I don't know how much you're familiar with these like older consoles, but they have like different controllers, like steering wheels and all that kind of stuff
Yeah.
that came out with it. So
The controller for ColecoVision is extremely odd. It's definitely, it's got like a little knob on
a
it,
little dial,
and that's how you would play. So I think the only game I ever played on, this is in my grandmother's house, was Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
And you would just use the dial to go back and forth. It was definitely, I mean, it was an old system. It was already, I was born in 88, so it was already 3 years out of, production by the time I got my hands on it.
Yeah,
Before
I think it came out like I don't know, maybe I still have it in front of me. I think it was August 1982 or something like that. Let me see. Yeah, August 1982 in North America. And then I think I read that by Christmas that year it had sold 500,000 units, which was pretty good for what it
new
was
technology,
back then.
coming out.
Yeah.
Obviously Donkey Kong wouldn't be on any other system if Nintendo had their own systems. So it was just interesting to see like that on a different, like just for the smallest amount of time, Nintendo was a third party developer and not an actual, powerhouse that they've become. So
yeah, imagine like when it came out, how cool it is, like arcade games at home.
At home, yeah, you don't have to go like you don't. I think they have. Did they have Centipede and Asteroids on there too? I may have played
I'd have to
Asteroid
bring up the list. I don't remember all of them.
or Star Defender or whatever the one is where you scroll on the bottom and you shoot the meteors.
I didn't get that deep. I didn't memorize the games.
It's all right. All right, so that's interesting, man. I like it. Yeah, the video game knowledge goes deep. There's a lot of crazy stuff in the beginnings of like the big bang for video games. Like there was just so much stuff they were throwing at the wall, seeing if it would stick.
Yeah, and in those like early to mid 1980s, like video games were just kind of like in a bad place too, like before NES and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, super interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, arcades were really, really popular, and then arcades became way less popular real quick. So home gaming really changed it for everything. All right, so my rabbit hole for you next week, because it just me going through the vending series 1 stuff and seeing that Illustrator Pikachu was part of this contest. I want you to do a little rabbit hole dive on the 1997 Koro Pokemon illustration contest and the Illustrator Pikachu. I know there's a lot with the Illustrator Pikachu.
Not the best trophy Pikachu, but
Definitely not. But it's still, it is what it is. It's an iconic card in the hobby. Iconic card in the hobby. So I think, and again, I had no idea that that's how that card actually came out. So it's cool. I'd like to know a little bit more about it, and I want you to research it for me.
Sounds good. All right. So the past 3 episodes, and I have an example because I have what I'm going to have you look into. The last 3 episodes, we're all looking at Japanese. So I was like, well, let's do one a little fun that's similar or that's related to what we did our tier list. So I want you to look into the Super Mario trading card collection.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So this is a really cool set here. So, and I shout out to Retro. I think Retro is another one that knows about this set, but yeah, I'll stop there, but it's really cool. I enjoyed learning about it. Yeah.
Cards and Mario. I'm all about that.
Yeah.
All right, man. Sweet. Okay. So that's Rabbit Holes, everyone. Thanks for listening. We are going to move on to our next. Oh my God. Okay. We're going to move on to our next segment, and it's hot takes. And I can't believe we're about to talk about this right now, but let's do it.
I already gave one, right? Master Balls are stupid. So let's go past that. That's one of mine.
That's one of yours. All right. So what's your next one? Is it going to be the one that's on top of this list right here?
No, that's your hot take, my man. We both feel very strongly about that one. So you could say it because the way it's phrased there is what you believe it's supposed to be said or how it's supposed to be said.
All right. So we were talking about this. PoNGa brought it up the other day, and he was like, I just want to say how it's called pop and not soda. And it's definitely soda and not pop. He pulled a map up, and it's crazy to see who says what in what parts of the country. There's a whole section of the country that just calls it cola. Like
they call it Coke. They call it
Coke.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, Pepsi, Coke, Tab, A Treat. I can name a whole bunch of sodas. It's crazy. It's soda. That's what it is. It's not pop. You call it soda pop. No one calls it soda pop anymore. It's not 1920. Like, what are we doing? There's no floppers running around. Like, it's not pop. It's soda. Just like a tissue is not a Kleenex. It's a tissue. Just like pork roll is pork roll, not Taylor ham. I'm over it, man. People got to get their words right.
Yeah, it's funny because there's so many things like this. Like, I don't think like one of them's right over the other, like soda pop. It's just like where you're like Midwest, where I'm from is always pop. I think the ones that are really funny, like you said, are like the tissue one, how like everyone just calls all of them Kleenex when that's a brand.
Just a brand.
But yeah, I mean, my side of it is we call it pop. Everyone I know calls it pop. So that's what it is. And I think if I'm not mistaken, the proper term is actually soda pop. So I don't think either of them are right. And I don't think either of them are wrong. But yeah, just one of those hot takes that I think is super interesting how people will just call things different.
Carbonated,
like the same item or just different
beverage. That's what it is. So that's really what it is. Like,
but yeah, you're dumb for calling it soda. Soda.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
The other one we brought up, right? Like, is it sofa or is it couch? It's couch.
Couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
Sofa is for the important room. That's the room where you don't sit on it. That's a sofa. You don't sit on a sofa.
My wife and I have this conversation all this time. Like, the thought of having like a formal sitting room, like
you don't sit in.
It's just such a waste of a room. But
we walk through.
Another day.
We walk through my room. Walk through it. My dogs sit on the couches, sofas more than we do. Like, they're just all over the place. So, well, in New Jersey, like, so for anyone here that's from New Jersey, it's funny how you said like country wise, like you're in the Midwest and like it's just like all pop there. And in New Jersey, the pork roll Taylor ham debate is brutal. Like, people get like, I've seen people yell at each other before over it. But Taylor ham's a brand out of Trenton, New Jersey, or out of Trenton, New Jersey. It's pork roll is the name of the meat. That's what it is. It's delicious. If you've never had it, you need to try it. But like it's divided by like towns. Like you'll go to one town and it'll say Taylor ham on the menu. The next town will say pork roll. And like some people get upset if you call it the other thing. It's just the most bizarre thing to me in the world. But that's enough of soda pop and pork roll and Kleenex.
So you just called it soda pop. So you said no one ever calls it that. Which one is it?
It's soda, not pop.
Okay, it's pop, not soda.
That's fine. To each their own. It must be hard waking up being wrong about that every day, PoNGa.
Okay.
All right. So for my real hot take, I'm gonna go with this Pokemon Trading Card Game Classic will age better than both the 151 UPC and the Charizard UPC. So the prices have come down quite a bit on these. They were $3.99, $99 retail. I think Pikachu on Wonder's podcast the other day said that someone he knows picked up for $240 shipped, which is crazy. Really cheap, under distribution prices, which is insane. But the reason I'm saying this is because if you go on PSA and you look at the pop reports for the big three, specifically the Charizard, I know that the print quality isn't the best in these, and sometimes that adds a little bit of like artificial scarcity to some of these cards. For how many of these have probably been sold, for them to have a total pop of $8.95 for the Charizard with only 560 tens, I think it's a little telling to me. It's still, we talked about it, reprints, but it's still the Charizard. People still want that card. I think it's still going raw for $100 or $110. It's ridiculous that it's holding that price. The Blastoise and Venusaur, not so much, but the Charizard's holding strong. The Venusaur, from the CLV part, the CLV set in there, 598 tens, 163 nines with a total pop of 769. Again, extremely low for what it is. Van Gogh Pikachu's pushing 30,000 graded total. These have less than 1,000 each. Blastoise, 452 tens, 254 nines, 735 total graded. So I think just based off of those cards, and that's not even including everything else that's in there, I think over time it's going to appreciate pretty well. I know that a lot of people don't have a good taste in their mouth about the Classic, but I think it's an interesting set. I think it's an interesting gimmick with everything that came with it. And I think the cards will age pretty well down the line.
Man, that's hot. I don't like the English one.
The Japanese one is much better. Like the borders on it, it's the borders, man. Like those
I hate the way the English cards look.
The yellow borders are terrible.
I hate yellow borders. Is that a hot take?
That I don't. For some people, like the people that were upset that we put base set at C, will be upset that you said that. Like the silver borders are much better. Like I think they just released cards where they're now putting the hollow on the borders as well. Like I think that's also like that's so like why are we not doing more of that? Like there needs to be more.
That's the Japanese way, right? Hollows in Japan have.
We just need more of that on the English side. Like it just looks so much better. Like eye appeal is like such a big thing in this hobby. Yeah, like that's great. Like no, but I'm saying like the hollow pattern. I guess there's some cards out. I think they just came out where like the hollow pattern is on the border for like just not like the crappy regular hollows. But like
when Scarlet Violet came out, the 3-pack blister promos had like the Cosmos foiling on the borders.
So that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's fantastic. Like that's so cool. Like we need more of that. So I agree with you there. I think
but like aging better. Like I love the 151 UPC. Like I bought a decent amount of these. It's hard to think like I don't know, maybe, but like I think percentage wise, that's hard to outperform those. Like a Charizard UPC would like they were like $90 or $80 for a long time. Like doubling that versus like $250 to $500. I think that the buyer pool is going to be. I guess it depends how many reprints they make, right? Like if they stop printing it, then I could see it.
Yeah, I think so far they've done one reprint, correct?
One or two, yeah. I think there was one recently.
Okay, so we'll see. Like I said, I was thinking long and hard about a hot take. I recently just picked some up. I don't know. I like them. The pop report's what really sold me on that, though. Seeing that low pop report, because they aren't the best. There's a lot of print lines. There's a lot of whitening on the edges, and the corners. So it's not the best grading card play. So
That's
and I
you
learned
made a
that
good
to
argument. You made
learned
a
that
good
to my
argument.
disadvantage. But all right. And what do you got? Sets like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah. So there's kind of multiple in one. So the talking point I'll start at is sets like Shining Fates are underrated. And really what I mean by that is I feel like when Shining Fates came out, people were so disappointed because it wasn't Hidden Fates. And what was Hidden Fates? All the shiny Pokemon in Hidden Fates were Kanto Pokemon, like the Mewtwo, the Umbreon for Gen 2, like all like the real popular Kanto, Johto type Pokemon. And while sets like that every once in a while are really good, I feel like Pokemon is very smart in making sets that don't always have a Charizard. They don't always have Umbreon, Espeon, the evolutions. Like I said, obviously sets like that once in a while are good, but I think it's really good that Pokemon kind of puts a variety of Pokemon in sets and kind of tries to push certain Pokemon a little harder, like newer Pokemon a little harder. I just think that'll help with the longevity. Like if they constantly always have to go back to the first couple generations of Pokemon, I feel like eventually we're going to get into a real tough place when it comes to Pokemon cards. So I really like what they do, try to put a variety. I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't hate the new Pokemon as much as other people, right? Yeah, I'll leave it at that, right? I like new Pokemon, some of them just as much as the older ones.
Well, it sucks seeing the same old Pokemon all the time.
Yeah, I feel like if they just keep putting Kanto Pokemon in every big set or every specialty set, like it's just gonna
Those
get
should be reserved now for special things. That's
yeah.
Gen 1. Like, it should be like, well, we want to get this set because they're finally putting a Charizard in, and it's like the 9th set in the the series, like, or the block. Like, they haven't released one yet. Or like Pikachu's need to be more. I think I said this. I think it was on this podcast, not tonight, but like one of them, where I said like they should be more like Pikachu, Charizard. They need to start being like more ambassadors for Pokemon and being like come out like just like more selectively. They need to protect them a little bit more now. Like those are like, you want to hit a home run, don't release them for a while and then drop them. Like you'll hit a home run every time. People
Yeah.
clamber.
I just feel like the newer Pokemon get such a bad rap when they like people always make the argument like the designs or all that. It's like go back and look at the Gen 1 Pokemon designs. Like come
Ekans
on.
is literally snake backwards.
Yeah, it's literally
Arbok is
just a
cobra
snake.
backwards. It's
Yeah.
a snake. Like it's a snake and a cobra looking snake.
Voltorb is literally a Pokeball. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, come on. And it's just like it's the nostalgia just
That's all it is.
Yeah, people just don't have connection to the new Pokemon, and that's a shame, but at least Pokemon's trying to make sure people or trying to get some people attached to some of the newer Pokemon. I think it's a good step in the right direction for them. So,
or even just reprint something else. Like you said, throw some reprints of some Gen 2 stuff out there. You want to make everyone excited? Do a legendary collection of Gen 2. Like,
yeah, I don't want to talk about that because they're.
Let's do Neo. Let's do the Neo, the 4 Neo sets in a legendary collection with fireworks. Like people will.
Could you imagine a Gen 2 evolution set or like a E series reprint with like all the top hits in all of the E series sets all in one? But no, we always go back to base set. So
yeah, and so like I hear what you're saying. Like, and I said it. Like, I'm tired of seeing Charizard. I'm tired of seeing Pikachu and silly stuff. Like I want like you have 1,000 Pokemon to choose from.
There is a lot of cool Pokemon. You could find cool Pokemon in every generation. And unfortunately, people are never going to get the attachment to them if they don't try to push them.
Yeah, exactly. Are there any Pokemon that have come out that don't have cards?
I really don't know.
I wonder if that's the case for any one Pokemon. If there's like a Pokemon
No, I'm
that's
sure.
never
I'm sure
had a
every
card.
Pokemon at least has like a common or something, right?
We'll see. I don't know. But I have no idea. So
I mean, I guess the best example would be Scarlet and Violet, right? Because I'm sure like all the other generations have at least one of every Pokemon, right? Like,
yeah,
has Scarlet and Violet hit every Pokemon, every new Pokemon? I don't know.
probably not yet. They keep releasing all these crazy ones.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's hot takes, ladies and gentlemen.
My real hot take was the Master Ball one, but you know.
I love the Master Ball. How do you hate the Master Ball? Why? What makes you dislike that?
It doesn't feel special to me.
Not even a little bit.
No.
What? Have you ripped 151 at all, Japanese?
I'm not a big enough idiot to open 151 in Japanese.
Oh, I'm a big idiot 3 times over.
Yeah, I'm good with my sealed. Well, I actually don't own any Japanese 151 anymore, but
Well,
and I have them for a while. So,
what do you think the reprints are going to do with that?
hoping it hits like $80-$90 a box. I'm gonna
go hard.
I don't know. It's I have some big personal expenses coming up, so I don't know. I hope the timing of it works out, is what I'll say. But that's probably the best buy you could possibly have. Yeah, I mean I'm exaggerating a little bit when I say the Master Balls are terrible, but they don't feel special to me. I don't really care about like scarcity and all that stuff, like one per. I just don't care about that kind of stuff. So,
okay.
I guess what I'll say is like I like the regular Pokeball just as much as the Master Ball.
Okay. I mean, it's the same art. There's just a little. I know you're on the same. I think Old Card Shop feels the same way about
Yeah, he's a smart guy. I like Josh a lot. He's a really smart guy.
Oh man.
Smash that unsubscribe button.
Yeah, just keep smashing it, everyone. We're really giving it to you tonight. All right, that's hot takes, ladies and gentlemen, and that brings us to our last segment, and that is who's that Pokemon. Now, this week,
scary.
We decided to get a little crazy and throw Gen 4 in there. It really doesn't mean anything for me because I'm gonna fuck them up anyway. But PoNGa was like, let me just look at the list. I'm not going to memorize these. He's probably got the list up right now. The list sprites.
I don't.
All right, let's present this.
There's just so many Pokemon that's just like, I don't even know. Okay, I'll start. Vaporeon.
Oh, of course you'll start.
Let's go. We'll do like 3 or 4. We'll do like 3 or 4 each.
Let's go.
1 for 1.
Oh, I thought you were going for 3.
No, I did Vaporeon.
Oh, we're gonna do. I thought you said 3 in a row.
No, we'll go back and forth like we normally do. I didn't know you were waiting for me.
Oh man, I have no idea. What is this silly Pokemon?
There's just so many bird Pokemon that when you see like the blank sprite, you have no idea.
Like, what the hell is this thing? I'm just gonna go say Pidgeot. I know it's not.
Yeah, I was gonna say Swallow. Yeah, you didn't even let me. You didn't even let me guess. What's There's 2 spider Pokemon, right? It's oh my gosh, it's green, right?
Yeah. I don't think that's this one though.
No. Wait, this one's this is the red one?
I think this is the red one.
So it's what, like
it's Spinarak's the one.
Spinarak, and then is the evolution like Arid how do you say it?
I don't know.
It's like Aridos or something. I don't even know how to say it.
All right, we're gonna give it a click. Let's see. Damn. Yeah. You're good at this. Oh, this is a Yama, right?
No, well, is it Yama or is it Yanmega? Yeah. I would have got that one. Yeah. Oh my, what is that? Is that Tentacool?
It is. You're gonna give me some freaking obscure ass Oh my god. Is this Slugma? Shellos.
You gotta let me guess yours. I would have gotten all these so far.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Pokemon Genius.
Politoed.
Nope, that's wrong. You're incorrect.
Okay. This is your last one. Go ahead.
This is, oh man, it's Kingdra. Look at me go.
All right, we're done. No more.
It's a Licky Tongue. Got that one right.
Can we talk about how funny Lickitongue's evolution? Licky Licky.
Yo, the Pokemon. So, listen, I don't know. Licky Tongue. You ever play? So, Licky Licky. The Pokemon Stadium game.
Yeah, of course.
They had the game where Licky Tongue would eat the sushi.
Yeah, of course. It's like the best mini game.
Yo, hysterical. It was the best. The whole thing was great. Like the whole thing was ridiculous.
I can already see the comments. Retro's, if he watches, he's just gonna put sus or something for doing that.
We both did it like children. That's hysterical. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Who's That Pokemon? This was episode 4 of the Box Nostalgia podcast. Look at us. We went 2 months. Haven't missed the date yet. So we're going to keep on keeping on. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to have some cool stuff happening. Trying to fix Fit Alive in here. Possibly have a guest on soon. Things we need to talk about, just iron out, like PoNGa and some stuff going on. So once all that comes down a little bit, we'll be able to branch out a little bit more and do some more things. We will be in Orlando for CollectCon at the end of May. So look for something fresh and exciting from us from there too, possibly content coming from that. So thank you everyone again for getting us to 100 subscriptions. Really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go down, subscribe, like button, leave a comment. Disagree with anything that we wrote here today or said here today, or agree with anything, throw it in the comments and chat about it. But again, thank you everyone for this. I love doing this. I look forward to this every week. Whether it's my podcast or this podcast with PoNGa. Yeah, it's my favorite part of the hobby, so I love doing this.
Yeah, awesome episode. Always enjoy the chat. Appreciate all the support. Make sure you roast us in the comments with all those terrible Watsi sets and our opinions on them.
All right, everyone. Thanks a lot, and have yourself a good rest of your afternoon. Peace.